Real Rivers, है ना? So, welcome everybody. This is the first episode of Kathmandu Real Rivers Talk, and with me, I have our guest PrabhaKiran, and I am the host for today, Rajay Bajracharya. So, without any further ado, Prabhat.
Kathmandu Real Rivers is aimed to talk really brutal truths of life and different aspects of life, business, love, politics, and I try to be my best, try to give more unfiltered answers to these aspects which I normally can't do as a host in Kathmandu Real because
So,
because if I ask those questions, guests will get kind of shocked. Yeah,
so this is the real point of Kathmandu Real. We are about to get real.
yeah.
And I was the cameraman back then, and now I'm the host. And
Yeah.
with me, I have our main host as well, and he needs to talk about something really real. So this podcast is
Yeah.
going to be very brutal, and real talk is going to happen. So, before anything further, so Prabhat, what would you like to tell to the audience? Who are you as a person?
That is kind of a big question because I'm also at the phase of learning.
Mm.
Before I had a lot of conceptions about myself, like I thought I was this, I was that. I had a lot of opinions, fixed opinions about myself. I was this personality. I was introvert, extrovert, all these things. Now, after coming to OSHO, yeah, it has been kind of revolutionary. I have been open-minded in a way, for the first time since I've been following Bhagwan also, yeah.
So you've been a devotee of OSHO, right?
Yeah.
So what was your upbringing like to go into OSHO? Why OSHO?
My upbringing was kind of, I don't remember it much, but it was kind of, I was treated like a very special kid by my parents, family certainly. And all of my demands were fulfilled, probably at any cost. And I was kind of possessive, right? Aries moon, or how Aries moon, like Aries moon kasto huncha, हैन? I was possessive, and um, I was a fireball. Wherever I went, there was a fireball of drama, chaos. I don't remember it much because I think if your childhood is very happy, if your life is very happy, you don't remember much of it, right? You remember only the hard points.
Yeah.
So, but I've had always philosophical and intellectual, spiritual inclination. And in 2018,
Yeah.
I mean 17, yeah, I came to Osho for the first time, and at that time I couldn't understand him. I thought that person was very wannabe alpha. I thought that was fake. How I wish I understood him. That would have been amazing in 2017. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the first day? What was your first seeing of OSHO?
Scene.
Yeah. When in 2017 when you first came into OSHO, do you remember any clips of it? Do you remember how it felt?
It was just YouTube talks, and yeah, I watched some clips of it. I don't remember, but it was kind of, I thought that guy was fake. I hadn't accepted that integrated part of personality, right? I thought, like in childhood, when I saw kids, friends doing kind of macho stuff, being loud, being aggressive, and I thought that was kind of fake, right? But instead of labeling that person as fake, I labeled the whole trait as fake.
Yeah.
So I was kind of, I cut off myself from many expressions of masculine and also feminine as a teen, and I couldn't accept that in also back then. But I accepted in time. Yeah, it was natural progression of life, I think.
So as far as I've known you, the first time I met you were quite aggressive. You were a very aggressive person, and now almost like 7-8 years later, you've been a different person. So, can you tell me what are some major points do you have to say about also like 2 or 3 points that really changed you or hit you?
Well, I think I've listened to also for 4-5 hours at least a day since 2020, and I mean, at my time in Pulchok when we were together, I was listening to Dan Pena a lot, right?
Yeah, you actually brought Dan Pena to Pulchok.
Yeah, and at that time I thought I had a need to prove my masculinity, right? To myself first and to maybe others, but you had a need. When you have a need to prove yourself, you do a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
And I think I have become more grounded, real. At that time, that was a wild horse. Now that horse is in a stable right now, and also powerful, certainly.
So you are a quite devotee of OSHO. You've changed your life completely. I've also known that you went to the spiritual Tapoban, OSHO Tapoban as well.
Yeah.
So how was the experience there?
I went to OSHO Tapoban in 2022, and that I had to get Osho's mala. I had to get this mala at any point.
Yeah.
and that was the time, and it was great. It is a new world altogether. You go there, and it's like a different life, different environment, very peaceful.
Yeah.
And I got to talk with firsthand Osho's disciples. Ma, what was his name? Ma Prem Bodhiya. Or I think his name was Prem Bodhiya. And he said his experience of meeting Osho, and it was like he had never seen anybody like that before. Because it was so easy. It exploded when seeing Osho, after seeing Osho, and it was and and such is the aura of enlightened beings, right? Enlightened beings, you go near them and you just lose yourself for a long time or forever, for good. Yeah. And top of one, yeah, I named myself Swami Rajani PrabhaKiran. But at that time, I was thinking about naming myself as Swami Alexander, but thankfully they didn't allow that name because it was English. And I would have regretted taking that name because I thought Alexander was a great person, Alexander the Great, I mean. But even he died with hands on his grapes outside, right? And he said, I have come empty-handed. I thought I was the emperor, and I died a beggar. So thankfully, yeah.
So since this is Kathmandu real, we need to ask the real questions here.
Reverse, yeah.
Yeah. So you thought Osho was a self-narcissistic person who only thought about himself and he thought he was greater than others. And you yourself changed your own name.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, you changed your entire name. So don't you think you were letting go of your identities? Maybe that was the point of the entire thing. Why change your name entirely though?
I think that is one of the norms of being disciple. That is one of the formalities. And I think this name is fine as well. Swami Rajani PrabhaKiran. It means so. Rajani means moon lord, and PrabhaKiran means morning light. So
Yeah.
that's a good name. Yeah, I haven't chosen a bad name.
So you chose this yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it has some relation with choosing my own life path and destiny myself. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, talking about some hard questions,
Yeah.
many people disregard Osho as a religion. You consider him as a god himself. So, there are various cases where people are quite offended when they see a person who was just born 100 years ago called a god, compared to himself as someone like Buddha or Jesus Christ. So, why do you hold him in such a high regard? And do you think there is any valid to people questioning his essence as a god?
By God, I mean, and we mean, he is just an enlightened being in higher consciousness. Because it was a joke to him. He could call himself God, the donkey. It wouldn't matter anything to us. So he was at that level. But you can say it was a strategy to. I mean, he lived the world and spiritual world at the same time, right? He had a lot of cars. He didn't care about cars. He really cared about the spiritual growth of planet.
Yeah.
But to attract the mindset and the perception of people, he had to get a lot of cars because people at that time didn't understand spirituality. But when they came across 93 Rolls Royce, what? They got kind of shocked. And he was all of, I mean, half of his work is to just capture attention by giving a lot of shocking things to the world.
Yeah.
And his name Bhagwan is one of that. And I think, and enlightenment level is such that you reach to so high, right? People at the level of enlightenment have said, Om Brahmasmi, I am the creator, I am God, I am everything.
Okay.
And there is a lot of truth to that. But at the same time, they are at the low. They are highest and the lowest. They are humble as an atom. They know they are nothing, worth nothing. But they are also worth everything. It's kind of contradictory, but it's the reality.
So I don't know also in any way as an artist. So if you were to teach me or just basically summarize me about Osho, can you tell me the chronological history of it and what Oshoism actually is, and how do you tell this to a beginner to join Osho?
In one word, Osho is complete. He is a Purna person. He is a complete person. By that, he had all aspects of feminine qualities like love, selfless, compassion, and he had also masculine qualities like selfishness, ruthlessness, toughness, and he was a whole person. Like I think everybody understands that in a way that world is yin yang, male female, positive negative, and he was a complete in that essence. So when people say he's ruthless, he's sex guru, he did bad things, they're just looking at one side. They should look at the whole picture. But by that I mean he did not use those dark traits to just destroy other people's life. I don't think he destroyed anybody's lives willingly. But at the root, it was light, but the light has to use the dark because
Yeah,
that is the way.
it is a common term though. Why is also called a sex guru? What's the lore behind it?
Um, it happened in the 60s because there was a lot of sexual casual sex happening in his ashrams back in the day as well.
Okay.
And he was the first to um, introduce that to the world. I cannot say how good or bad it was. It was certainly had its use and utility at that time. And mostly he is love guru as well. He is more about love than sex. He is about going into from sex to love to higher consciousness, and it is used as a means and
I guess in a sexually repressed country like India, it was a
big thing. Yeah.
it was a big thing back then.
When its book Samokse Samadhi came out, it was like atom bomb dropping on India. It was everywhere. Back in the day, just my very few TVs, it was everywhere. So there was an atom bomb dropping at that time for sure.
So, like, what's the difference between OSHO and the so-called gurus of today, like Sadhguru? Though, how do you consider about them?
I met Sadhguru. I was this close to Sadhguru in 2025 August 27, and I certainly felt very different. Like it was as if like we were being pulled around to him, like he was a black hole and we are the stars being pulled around. We certainly felt that. But having said, I can't simply trust Sadhguru completely. Like if you ask something else to Sadhguru, like what do you think of Mahatma Gandhi? And let's say there are 100,000 traits of Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Yeah.
Sadhguru is going to say everything good and nothing bad.
Yeah.
And also, it's just opposite. He says everything bad first and good if there is some left.
So he's like the Socrates of religion.
I think beyond Socrates, or certainly at his level, yeah.
So, like after releasing from OSHO entirely, you've started Kathmandu Real.
Yeah.
So, like, what was your trajectory? There's also a lot of things the audience might want to know. Like, why did you leave Pulsok and why did you join BBA and then start a podcast called Kathmandu Real now?
If I were to go back in time, I would have started Kathmandu Real or some media thing whenever I went back with this level of conscience, right? So it is about giving and transforming truth, honesty, and heart made right. And I left Pulsok. I would have left Pulsok in first semester. After first semester entirely, I stuck around for some reasons, and because it was kind of monotonous. What would I get by programming a computer? Don't get inspired or demotivated. This is just me. And I programmed a computer for 5-6 hours one time, and I felt, what would I gain by teaching that computer? I wouldn't learn anything. So, in quest of learning myself and just living in the external world and real world, not in the world of computers and kind of books, I left engineering and joined BBA. But BBA it also didn't, doesn't stand up to people's expectation, right?
Yeah.
Like in the real essence of BBA, business degree should have been you learn to make money, you learn the mindset and leadership, right? Those things are somewhat touched in an international degree, but not really touched.
Yeah.
So it is good, yeah. I started Kathmandu Real to proliferate ideas and truths to the world, yeah.
So proliferate ideas and truths to the world. So you'll consider this as a reason to start Kathmandu Real, or is it just for a monetary basis? Like, yeah, it's just because of money, or do you want to actually bring knowledge?
I am absolutely for progress.
Yeah.
More than profit. Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, if somebody would ask me, do you want $1 trillion or do you want to make the world perfect? I would choose the word perfect all the time.
Okay, so regarding this, you've changed different colleges and you were not satisfied by any of them. So, do you think there's actually any disparity between the school systems now and how it should be? How effective do you think schools are in general?
I think it's to their own, and certainly the elementary schools are not. These are the schools. These are the times where the child is dull actually, because we have our brain to think, to be smart, right? Heart to feel and connect, and our balls, which are called gods from now on, to just be courageous and powerful, right? Our school doesn't just if it's a good school, it just teaches the brain. it doesn't teaches the heart, and it just kind of sons the whole chorus thing. And at our times, it was kind of the lower two were destroyed and this was distorted. And I think in this generation, I think in the current times, the elementary schools, they try to teach the brains and other tools are left kind of neutral. So it's not a good value for money. I mean, there are a lot of things that a child can learn in first 15 years, right? Especially in the 10 years, they can learn the mindset. Though that mindset thing is not touched. That real uh, things that are needed in life is not touched. So I don't think there is an alternative yet, but we should create alternative. Yeah.
So, like, what's the real problem of these systems of schools? Are we just raising children to become slaves in the computer world? Or is there any other alternatives? Would you rather prefer homeschooling or?
I will say one story. Okay. This was the first day also went to school. I think it was in class 9. And there was the whole national anthem. They were in the assembly line, and students were all around. Teachers were there, and they were to sing the Indian national anthem, right? Our something like our country is the greatest, our religion is the greatest, we are the greatest, everything about us is greatest. And also raised his hand and said, and as he always did, there's a lot of problems with India. We have been enslaved for a lot of time. Neither our religion is it is suppressed, it is repressed, it is backwards, and our nation is full of poverty and unemployment and crimes. How can you call it the greatest? I want an answer. He said something like this. And the principal said, came and bring one stick. Here's my stick. Give me your hand. I'll give you the answer. Do you know what was said?
What did he say?
At that time of total domination by teachers, he said, here's my hand. There's your stick. There's a police station. I'm going directly to the police. And if you try to touch me, I'll show you the what answer is. So and that was a rebelliousness he had as even as a child. So I said, this is a very serious talk actually. If your children cannot show that much courage, then school might really destroy their power actually. If they can show that much courage, then they can use the school to lead, to inspire, to do their own thing. But if they can't show that, then you should really teach them that much courage actually.
But that's actually a very rudimentary style of teaching. Right now, everybody is just very open. Like the current education minister has completely banned any strict prohibitions to the children themselves. That's kind of rudimentary right now. No teacher is actually hitting them with a stick anyway. Well, as far in the general media, there might be some in regards. But what is the school actually lacking that you want from that you think you can feel from OSHO? What's a child lacking in a school system?
Especially in the early school where the mindset and the mind is developed, right? Let's say the early 10 years. Like I said, sharp thinking, ways to make money, ways to connect, ways to lead, the more ways of learning like AI, right?
Yeah.
We have to be updated with mind, connect with heart, be free with kind of love kind of thing, and God's balls. We got to really be courageous because if you just think and can't take action, can't connect, then you'll just explode and go around in circles, right? That is what is happening in most schools, and that's a very also try to change that, and I'll try to change that as well.
Yeah, we are still working on that though. There's still a problem right there.
Yeah,
it's a clear problem, but we're still working on it. Okay, then. So we've been going through also quite a bit lot. Well, there needs to be a clear definition though. What you're talking about is enlightenment. So enlightenment also is being an enlightened being, right? He's a god compared to any other enlightenment one, right?
By God, I mean enlightened.
An enlightened person.
I don't mean we can just make this Mac disappear, do this disappear. Just he was a normal human being with heightened consciousness.
But would you consider also as a religion?
His spirituality, yeah.
His spirituality.
By religion, it has been kind of contaminated in all of religions have been kind of contaminated these days. Their founders, all of the founders of religions were great. They were enlightened beings. Jesus, Krishna, Buddha.
Yeah.
They were enlightened beings, right? But somewhere down the centuries, the third person who called themselves messenger of God, right? The priest type of person. They distorted the message. And the followers happened to follow that third person of God instead that direct messenger, right? They should have connected with the direct enlightened being, but they connected with some kind of fool, and the history is the chaos caused by that following the wrong person. If you really can, you should follow the founders of religions and their pure message, right? Why should you need a third person?
But how do you know about what the founders are teaching when every scripture has been manipulated in some way or another?
I think it is very difficult, right?
For someone like Jesus Christ who was born 2000 years ago, how would you really know if the Bible is completely real? How many of its
well,
letters haven't been changed?
It has been changed. I mean, it might have been changed a lot, but we should, if you can't connect to Jesus right now, but also has talked a lot about on Bible, come follow yourself, right? That is the purest form of Jesus Christ's message you can really take.
Mm.
It comes from enlightened being, from another enlightened being. So
Okay.
I think his talks are the ones to start, place to start. Yeah.
So, like, what would you define as a difference between a religion like Buddhism and them, and a spirituality like also or enlightenment?
Krishnamurti, right? In essence, they are the same, but because of all kind of stupidities, because done by the followers and their priests,
Yeah,
it has been different.
one's a business completely.
Yeah, business and kind of indoctrination to wrong things to people their mindset.
Speaking about indoctrination to wrong things, like religion is one of the main causes of war in our past history.
Yeah,
So, like, what's the main reason that people went to war so much because of these religions and the fake middle persons that you say?
I think it has got to do with attachment, individual attachment of human being, right?
Hmm.
People go to fight for their countries, and really, I think nations and religions are the biggest attachment to a person.
Yeah, people still fight these days because of their religion. Like Muslims and Hindus are constantly at war.
Yeah,
Similarly, many people in our races are like actually very disgraceful about people of other religions. And there's not really inclusiveness.
It has got to do with unconsciousness, man. Unconsciousness,
Mind.
ignorance. Yeah. Even if you fix the system, the people are going to fight in some way or the other. So I thought I was changing the system, making the rules was going to be the cure, but more than that, you got to change the people's consciousness individually.
Okay, so fun fact, Prabhat wanted to change the entire government back then 7 years ago. Now, you just want to change the people's mind.
Yeah, I think that is more effective. Yeah.
Okay, then like, how would you go on and change a person's mind then?
I think it has to do with interactions, connections, real talks with people, and if you have some something real to say, then it is going to connect. And I am not at Oso's level or Krishnamurti's level at that, but certainly we will follow that path.
Like, yeah, but also has a lot of things to teach in the current world.
Yeah.
What do you think are the current problems right now? Like, the government is completely unstable in many countries right now. There's war going on between USA and Iran.
Yeah.
There's a lot of instability in this world, crisis.
Yeah.
How can you like change this by? How can you even reach 9 billion people's?
Well, let's see. I cannot say at the moment, but
So, given the current context of the world right now, complete chaos going on, wars between countries, and instability in many governments, there's a hard chance and hard degeneracy going on. People are actually being degenerated by the internet themselves. So, in this current context, what are the youths lacking? What do they need from spirituality to actually grow from?
I think they lack truth. The inclination to follow truth. And but I think everybody gets into trouble. Everybody gets at lowest at one point in their life or many points. But the thing that has from that low to high is the truth. I think everybody has been kind of low at that one point in their life, right? But if you can't embrace truth at that time, then you might not recover. Yeah.
But what is this truth? What do you call to be a truth?
It is very difficult to say, but we are humans, right? We have our energetic body. We feel the fear. Our insecurities are the same, right? We feel heartbroken, like pain, loss of members, loss of things. Our insecurities are same. So, but by truth, I mean the message that heals that insecurities. Truth is a very big thing, but truth is the thing that heals our human souls. Yeah, that message when you hear it, that is the truth. Yeah.
So, can you explain it in a much more simpler way about enlightenment in the same way? Can you explain it, or is it?
I can't explain it. It's beyond my concept at the moment. But I think it is the releasement of all your energies, right? We have all kind of energetic tensions like anger, hate, loss. It is purified. Yeah, that much I can say. All our bad energies are purified into positive one. But I cannot say more than that at the moment. I don't know.
Okay, then. as you see, like in our previous podcasts, you have said many times that people are dreaming big. They want to be Ronaldo and anything like that.
Yeah.
But they are not doing the effort in there, and many of them don't even have the purpose in their life. They're just like asking you what are. If you go and ask them what do they want to do, they don't know what they are.
They will
want
say
to do.
money. Yeah.
They'll say money. Yeah, they just say they want to be rich,
Yeah.
things like that. But people who have been rich, when they are asked about money, they don't really even want it anymore. So there's a disparity between the two, reality
Yeah.
and fake. Then, so what should be? How does one find purpose in their life? How should they find happiness?
I don't think there is a bigger thing as such thing as called purpose in life. We got life, and like you said earlier, in this there is garden of earth, right? And I'm a flower. That flower wanted to conquer the earth. Now the flower wants to bloom and express itself. That is the purpose of conquer the world, right?
Yeah, you did. You also wanted to burn the government.
Not in a. I said that as a kind of joke, but I wanted to a revolution certainly, and I'm wanting that in a different way. Um, I think back at that time, there's a garden of earth, right? And I am a flower in it. That flower wanted to take over the garden, but now the flower has seen that its job is to bloom perfectly and maybe not care about much about the garden. So even if that need to change the world came out from wanting to beautify the garden, I think me blooming first will certainly help more than wanting to fix the garden upright up front. And by finding purpose, it's about exploring your energies. What energies you feel in your body, you got to explore. You got to fulfill that, or at least you got to transform it. Yeah. And how to transform it? Suppose you feel anger, right? You feel anger, you feel lust, you feel wrath, you feel pride.
Yeah,
Normally, it is in all of us. Yeah.
the seven sins.
Yeah, seven sins is in all of us, and we are. I think everybody's told when it comes anger, you just sort it down, don't express. But when you sort it down, it goes beneath you, and it's stored. It's stored. And I think also never had this problem because he used to just vomit out his emotions kind of in a healthy way, but he never hold anything back.
So what does vomiting out all your emotions mean?
By suppose you hurt me, you just expressed it.
Wouldn't that just mean if I hurt you, I fight back, can cause more war?
It is fighting back, but in within limits, of course, not breaking bones and things like that, but certainly asserting the truth. Yeah. We and suppose you got anger and you got to feel the anger completely, right?
Yeah.
You feel, suppose you hit me and I feel angry too, which I don't, but you hit me and I feel angry. I should not suppress that. I should feel that completely and finish that energetic loop, right? And your particular anger with this scenario just finish. I might have anger for some other things because root is not fixed, but this instance is fixed. Yeah, so that's how you solve and catharsis with emotions. Yeah. Okay. Suppose you feel some emotions, you just feel it completely. Don't express. You don't need to express. You just feel it completely, and it goes away. And you'll be left with peace. Yeah.
So if we had a lot of emotions going on, you just need to express it.
Not necessarily express in a healthy way. Or if you can't express, or if you want an alternative, then you feel it completely, then be finished with it. And feel with awareness, right? You don't get lost, but you feel with awareness.
To grasp it in a much more easier way, can you link it to your own personal experiences? Like, what did you link a previous emotion to in your entire life that made you dissolve that emotion completely?
I'll have to think about it.
Like you, for an example, you did want to burn down the entire government, right? No, like not
in a revolutionary way.
Yeah, in a revolutionary way.
Yeah.
So, did you internalize the entire feeling and then come up with another way?
I think it happened with time, but certainly has to do with also. And let me clarify: burning down government, I meant as a revolution, kind of change in the whole system. The people who rule the place, rule the country. Those certainly need to be changed, and I think we have a better government in Nepal at the moment. Yeah.
So you believe it's a better government now?
No, I think comparatively, we got better leader Balin.
Yeah.
And his team of ministers are great. Back the previous government, I mean, we had a lot of corruptions and old mindset. Let's see what this government does. It's a nascent phase, and we got to see what it does.
Okay, just well, while we are on this context, do you completely agree with everything this government is doing?
Um, when you do want something in the world, there's going to be goods and bad, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if they can manage those things. For example, they had a change in the school system, right? That up to grade 5, children are not won't have to give exams, right?
Mm.
That might turn out to be for good. That might turn out to be for bad.
Mm.
How can it be good? Because they won't feel pressure. They will have time to create. How it can turn out to be bad? They will they will not be able to take up pressure later on in life. So how will they manage that? That is the question. Yeah. I think they certainly need every government needs a spiritual psycho counselor to who understands human nature. Yeah,
A spiritual counselor.
a spiritual counselor, also spiritual psychological counselor. Yeah, every governments need that.
Well, considering the fact that our Prime Minister Banerjee is very spiritual, he did that spiritual thing while in his inauguration.
Yeah.
It has been criticized by many people, though. Although we are going on a good track, there has been many criticisms of the government itself being too rash, and the government being semi-instable, with ministers resigning, and problems like.
Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, we are at the let's see phase right now.
Yeah, this is talking about truth. There are some bads and wrong things in this government as well. But so while talking about this entire truth about spirituality, you do believe we need to give some spiritual teaching to our leaders themselves.
Yeah, of course.
And they need some spiritual teaching as well. But like, what kind of truths might sound arrogant, but is actually very real, and people do need to hear them? You are. This is a topic that you have told me many times before.
What I told.
That you want things to be real, and people need to hear the real truth, and if they do hear the real truth, people might cry.
I mean, maybe. I think everybody says to be real, be honest, but when that person comes, also Krishnamurti, they are kind of even they don't skip that judgment, right?
Yeah.
If you are unreal, you are judged. If you are real, judged, and everything in between is judged. So I think society consists of all kind of peoples. So we should not focus on that at most of the times. And yeah, what we're asking, I mean, the real truth, right?
What truth
might hurt? I mean, truth is always hurting in a way.
Yeah. Tito Satya.
Yeah, Tito Satya, that's it is in by its nature it's hurting, and if somebody like Osho says it, and he has, I mean, a lot of Sagittarius, right?
Yeah.
It is going to direct pinpointed arrow. Somebody like Krishnamurti says it, it's going to be more mellowed. Yeah. If somebody like Buddha says it, it's going to be more compassionate. I think every guru has all kind of flavors of saying their truth, and this, but whatever they say, their energy is such, their community will be built up in such a way that, I mean, Buddha had life attempts, also had life attempts on him, and they succeeded. Also was poisoned in USA, and a lot of these people have had life attempts in their life, so people can't handle the truth.
So each of them had a different flavor of truth, but they all had truth in them.
Yeah.
Many of our peoples might not even survive the truth, right?
Yeah.
Also survived poisoning, to be fair.
Yeah. And even his death is kind of suspicious in many ways.
But what really gives a person, let's say, a spiritual clarity, the purpose in their life? What really gives them true feeling of happiness? What might truly free them from this world of shackles? What will give you freedom?
It's just this understanding that, firstly, it has to be a seed in your unconscious, right? The seed is such that this physical world, all this world of money, fame, success is kind of shallow. It is shallow. If you have got enough to live healthy, then you've got enough for anything. Yeah. I mean, like I said, most people are trying to conquer the garden.
They are being very materialistic these days.
In some way or materialistic, egoistic. Some way or the another, this generation wanting to do great in success, career, nothing wrong with that. But having that as first priority, they are trying to conquer the garden. Well, that might lead to some good places, but like Andrew Tate, right? He is trying to conquer the garden. You know Andrew Tate?
Yeah, we do. Everybody knows Andrew Tate now. He's the most famous person in the world in a short amount of time.
As he says.
As he says. Now he's been banned everywhere, and he lost a kickboxing match. He brutally lost that kickboxing match, by the way.
So he's trying to conquer the garden, and most of the career dreams, I want to reach there, I want to reach there, I haven't reached there, I haven't got enough. This is trying to conquer the world, conquer the earth, conquer the garden. And like I said, our priority is to bloom. Forget about garden. Forget about wanting to conquer the garden, wanting to save it, or wanting to conquer it, wanting to do it for any reasons. So that is, I think, truth helps, and this insight, right? First, a thought enters into your mind, and you will change it with it. Yeah. So how do you kind of distance yourself from this material world? You just do it. Once you hear it, you can unhear it, right? Yeah.
Once you feel that level of truth, that something that in your unconscious, a seed inside your unconscious mind, you will change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult thing to do in these days because
It happens. If you search for truth, it is going to happen, but it takes a lot of time. Man, I've been following also for 6, 7 years now, and I've changed a lot, grown a lot,
Yeah, you have
learned
changed
a lot. Yeah, I mean, and unlearned a lot.
Yeah, there is a term called unlearning as well.
Still, there is a lot. I don't know how much to go, but maybe still there is a lot more to go. And it happens with this message. You hear the message. You need some input from the outside. You can. It is very difficult to change from the inside. Somebody might say, "I'll think and grow rich. I'll sit in my home, in my room, and I'll attract money." Very rarely, it doesn't happen. I don't think it happens. You got to have some external inputs of truth and reality, of power, of whatever you want. You have that, and that goes inside your machine. You operate and it gives a new output, right?
But this is just like a luck by chance basis, right? You just need to get hit by a struck of lightning and a seed come in your mind.
There's luck by chance, but you can make that luck yourself. You can go into places where you can get hit. That's the free choice we've got, certainly. You go to places where you get hit, but I think people can't change on their own. It's very difficult. Maybe you got to get hit by something. You got to be inspired or desperate. And I'm inspired, certainly inspired at the moment.
Did you get hit by something that changed you?
Maybe. I mean, I can't say it really. I can't say if it was or it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. For to know that entire truth, you should be in some level enlightened about your entire status as a being itself, right?
It's very difficult to say at the moment.
Yeah. You're still in a part of searching for life as well.
Yeah. I mean, somebody is running. Everybody has that pins, right? That obsession, that Rahu thing.
Yeah, the Machiavelli sense.
Somebody is running for money. For somebody is in pins for because of money, pins because of relationship, pins because of parental love. Doesn't get that. Haven't got that. And even Lord Osho and Buddha, they were in pins for truth. Everybody is in pins here.
Yeah, speaking of Buddha, he did have a cycle of life, a Mara chart, in which people kept on living in their lives until they died and rebirth until they finally led to a point of life in which they didn't
enlightenment. I think
enlightenment. Yeah, the end of a life cycle, and you don't have to go in that cycle again. So many persons, do you believe in that cycle? Then you just need to get struck by lightning. Until then, your cycle keeps on rotating.
You can get yourself hit by lightning as you can go into places where you get attacked by truth.
Yeah, we've considered
that is the free choice. Yeah.
But that's still a chance hit, right? Yeah. Some people are just destined to get hit earlier than others.
Yeah. You can get hit by it by out of the blue, or you willingly go into places where you can get hit by it, and you will grow certainly. Yeah.
So many people these days, like you said, Rahu, right?
By Rahu, I mean.
By Rahu. Rahu comes in many forms. Might go in the seventh sense. You might be in attraction of money or lust, gluttony. So basically, many people these days are trying to find a form of love, right? Everybody wants some form of love, of a sense of meaning in their life. They just want a partner to feel wanted, right? So, do you believe unconditional love exists? Like not the one your mother gives you, but the one from a partner you just met a few years ago. Unconditional love, and is it? Yeah. Okay. Come
on. To give unconditionally your love, your time, you have to reach the highest point. Because if you are if you have some demands of your own, you cannot give that, right? So I think only gurus can give real unconditional love. And I met with Rahul Chaudhary sir from CG here. And I was kind of surprised by the time he gave us because he's at the peak of Nepal, right, in many ways. So he has a lot of time to give. As opposed to we meet some middle level CEOs, they will be out in 5 minutes after the seminar ends. But he gave us a lot of time, and we talk in social medias as well. So
did you understand what unconditional love is?
I was saying it. Well, so I think it comes from people who are really fulfilled, but you can also get it from partner. Yeah, I think it starts off relationship. It is selfish in the beginning, selfless in the middle if it's good, and selfish in the end.
What does that mean? Selfish in the end.
It starts for selfish reason. You want something from me, I want something from you. We go on mutual contract. If the whole process is journey is beautiful and good, if it's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But if it's not unhealthy, you can see all the problems here on.
It's kind of unavoidable these days. Everybody has problems right now.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps on complaining about their love life.
Yeah.
But still, this basic concept you just said is kind of groundbreaking. Like, you don't find love from another partner; you find love from a spiritually enlightened guru.
Yeah.
So,
Unconditional love, really. Yeah.
what kind of unconditional love is that? Does that love how a love is supposed to be special for you, right? If that love is given to other people as well, if your guru has thousands of disciples, would you feel any special if you got his unconditional love?
Well, I don't think you should feel special, and you should feel like atom as well. We have infinite worth and infinite worthlessness at the same time. Um, Feeling special is great, but feeling not special is also needed. Yeah, that's both part of reality.
How is that love then? Love basically is doing everything for somebody else.
Yeah, that also happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, that the middle ground you talk about, selflessness.
Yeah. Well, that also happens. Yeah, if it's healthy relationship, it happens. Yeah.
Many people are having healthy relationships. Like you, this is a basic cycle of reproduction in your life, in your biology itself.
Yeah.
You might just need to reproduce in your life, and that form of attachment is a form of love.
Yeah.
Okay, we got your knowledge about that, and it's a very interesting thing. Unconditional love from your guru itself is quite.
By really unconditional love, that I mean, also he had no desires left. Yeah, he was fulfilled. I mean, he could give anything to anybody, right? He could give, but I don't. By that high level of unconditional love, I mean total acceptance, total love, total clarity. To that, those all kinds of things. You need to have some awareness to give that as well. So you will certainly find partner at your level, yeah, in many ways.
Okay, let's talk about reality then. In real life, yeah, the conditions, the status quo, I guess.
Yeah.
So, what do you see are the aspects of the youths of today? What do you think about the future, and what do you think you're heading in this way?
Me personally.
You personally, and any suggestions for anyone else?
My final message for this, so yeah, I mean, talking kind of in a way.
Not a final message. So we will get a final message in a few ways. Just your condition of the future of our society right now.
Like how I want society to be.
How you think society is heading in the current part?
By gender, I'll say partly. By gender standards, I think people are changing genders, doing kind of permanent things on their bodies based on temporary emotions. I think it is very big to say. I think this needs to be balanced. There is certainly a boundary between healthy exploration and kind of perverse interest, right? I mean, society is so big, world is so big. It is certainly hated for we don't know. I can say it's such a big thing.
It's a big thing. It's a big ask.
Yeah.
Has the current changes in life actually changed you? Like AI, has AI changed your process on anything? Have you asked AI about your questions of OSHO? Many people right now are actually asking AI for everything they need in your life, spiritual awakening, anything, any question you want to ask, you can ask it without any judgment in the AI.
I think AI is very good as a therapist. You can say a lot of questions to them, and if you are someone who can get just who can just change because of intellectual answers, then AI can help you. But if you want emotional support, hug and touches as a comfort alongside your therapy, then AI might not help. But I think I've talked to ChatGPT so quite a while, and I was asking a lot of things. I don't know, I was asking with that intensity, but I was saying the world has such bad things, bad leaders, bad gurus, poverty mindset, a lot of weakness, a lot of casualty, a lot of death, unwanted casualty, unwanted deaths, right? How can I surrender to this world? Is all gurus have said, how can I surrender to this reality? How can I surrender after all this, seeing all these atrocities and garbage things in the world, right? And it said I said kind of also level answer, right? It said, Prabhat, you don't need to surrender. You need to wake up.
Okay. Did you wake up?
Well, certainly in a way.
Okay.
Process of waking up, yeah. Yeah, we need to wake up, yeah. If you're trying to surrender, I think waking up is more powerful than surrendering. I think surrendering is also needed, but waking up means you just wake up, and you wake up from a dream, and just everything goes peaceful, right? You see the reality, nothing bothers you. I think enlightenment. One way to see enlightenment is that you wake up and you just wake up. You are not bothered by anything else. Yeah.
There is a very grave difference of just waking up and not being bothered by anything else and being a borderline psychopath.
What do you mean?
There's a scientific term. Well, psychopath don't really actually feel any empathy for anything or anyone else. Does spirituality borderline that in some way?
I think also these peoples, also Krishna, Buddha, I mean, they were tough as nails. They were tougher than Genghis Khan, I mean. Because what Genghis Khan did, those people just kill bodies, shot someone, butchered someone, right? What these people do is you die from Genghis Khan and you will come back again, don't worry. But you will die from Osho's, Krishna's, Buddha's, Christ, and you will not come back again. Because they were after making enlightened, and that takes more butchery, that soul surgery than and people can understand.
Okay,
So they were tough people, yeah. You can say they were narcissists in a way, not totally, but they certainly used that ruthlessness, yeah.
Okay, we are coming to almost the end, and there are a few questions left. I do want to ask you about being so spiritual, like being so much in this form of enlightenment. You want to know what it is, right? You want to know what you want to feel enlightenment for yourself. You've seen spirituality, and you've felt how also felt, right?
Yeah.
So, given that context and how much every religion has mattered, there has been a lot of growth in atheism. People just do not want to believe that a god is going to, an external being is going to change their life, some planets revolving is going to change their destiny. So, growing through atheism and every form of like a non-compliance to this form of religion, what are your opinions about atheists? What are your opinions about the people who just don't want to wake up, who just don't want to believe in spirituality? What are your opinions about them? Do you have any message to them, or do you think they should live their own life?
I think atheists are kind of logical people. I have known them, logical, rational, but they are trying to figure out reality with logic, right? Logic is a very limited thing. They should try to figure out reality with sense, with being, with living, and I think there is something called spiritual logic, which nobody has talked about, and it's a new concept, probably coming from me. I haven't made a framework out of it, but
PKC 2026.
Spiritual logic. I mean, if you understand also Krishnamurti, then I think you get spiritual logic to be because one of the aspects of it is like also says many things, right? He says one day this thing, one day that thing, one day another thing. If you try to connect everything together by normal logic, it is going to break apart because it is so contradictory, right? In one stance, he says, "Be tough, surrender." He says, "Be surrender, let go everything." In another instance, he say, "No, you should be tough. You should take charge of your destiny." How can you connect both? It's so different, right? But with spiritual logic, I think you can connect these things.
So you where can you actually acquire the spiritual logic? You can't actually read this from Osho's book and get spiritual logic, right? You can't get it from the book, right?
But I can certainly say if you understand also, you get spiritual logic.
Of how will this or understanding also go through? You have to visit the place, or
I think you got to read his books, English books, yeah.
Okay, you can get the information from his book itself.
It is not, the concept is not talked about, but if you get this, I think you get spiritual logic. I introduced the term because logic is kind of limited, right?
Yep.
It has to be expounded upon.
Yeah.
So spiritual logic is needed. I think if you take everything from present moment to present moment to present moment, and don't think about past, then in a way, one of the aspects of it is that suppose he said, right, also said, be surrender, totally let go. And in USA, he says, take charge. There is no such thing as surrender. How do you connect? Spiritual logic. You understand, you sense it, yeah.
So one cannot fathom spiritual logic by pure logic itself. You just need to feel it.
Yeah.
Like those who are not apparently linked together, but they are, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to feel that entire emotion.
Yeah. Emotion you're being a.
Yeah. Is there any fast track way of understanding these emotions? There is no logical way of understanding them. You just have to put together.
It is very difficult to explain. I can't explain.
Yeah, you can't explain. Okay.
It is not expounded upon well. Yeah. Maybe if it comes, I'll have to write something about it, some framework about it.
Okay, so speaking about what you want to write about your frameworks, so what do you want to do with Kathmandu Real now? What are your aims later on?
Um, Certainly expanding into a big platform for sharing ideas, stories, and mainly truths, honesty, and heart, right? And I think I'll start one speaking club again. This will be the third time, but this time I think this will be a big one.
It has to
Yeah,
be when it's third time's the charm.
yeah. And that club will connect a lot of people. Yeah,
Mm. Okay, so when it grows, what
yeah.
philosophy would you want Kathmandu Real to have? Expand on those topics of truth, honesty, and heart.
By philosophy, I mean Steve Jobs like think different kind of thing.
Yeah, like the
Think
culture of the
different for
environment itself. Suppose Google has this culture of prioritizing computer
yeah.
science and mathematics,
Mm.
and Apple had this culture of making perfection in their each work.
Products, yeah.
Yeah, in their products.
I think I'm certainly results oriented, but results oriented in a sustainable way. We don't harm others,
So
right?
by result oriented, you just want more views, or do you want to actually express the logic of spiritual logic to the world?
Uh, I think I put that all in results. Yeah, you get more influence, you get more community, more bigger thing. It's needed. Yeah,
Mm.
certainly you got to go big, and
Mm.
not results oriented, and ruthless
Mm.
kind of way, but certainly, yeah.
So I would like to end off with the most infamous question of this podcast.
Okay.
Not the infamous, but the one that's been quite heavily asked in every order of our podcast.
Right.
So, what kind of legacy would you want to leave behind? What is the PKC that your children's, your grandchildren are going to remember you by?
I don't think I concern much with that.
Mm.
I think, like I said, the flower has to bloom.
You just have to bloom.
Yeah.
You don't want any other legacy. You don't want nothing
Well,
behind.
it'll certainly have to be a good one. I mean, but I'm not concerned like controlling the whole future of
Mm.
like probably like before. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You just want to go with the flow. Before you
Yeah.
want to do burn down the entire garden, and you just want to bloom now, right?
Yeah.
So
I won't say burn, don't bring burn down the garden, but pacify the whole garden
pacified old garden.
and change the whole garden. Yeah.
Mm.
It's not burning, it's changing. Yeah.
Okay. So, coming down to the end of our interview, there's a few questions I would like to ask you.
Yeah.
So, in this current world, everybody is trying to find a meaning in their life. Everybody needs something to remember them by. They want to be a Steve Jobs, they want to be some form of Columbus, or they just want to get their names remembered, right?
In the history books.
Yeah, they want to be immortalized.
Mm.
You know, what we would want to call it.
Mm.
So, given your nature of spirituality that you don't even want that you want just to bloom, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any goals in your life, any things that you want to accomplish, that you want anybody that you want to remember you by, or just you for your own personal satisfaction? Are there any goals in your life?
Like I said, I would like to bloom. The flower doesn't want to conquer the garden anymore.
Mm.
If it happens, but it's not optional, it's optional. With Kathmandu Real, I would like to proliferate it as much as I can, but I'm not attached to it.
You proliferate as in?
Proliferate, I mean grow.
Yeah, grow, right?
Grow as much as it can, but I'm not attached to it.
Mm.
And I'll certainly start speaking club. This will be the third time.
It's actually the third time. Speakers 2.0 and now 3.0, right?
No, Speakers 2.0 and IC Speakers Masters.
Oh,
And I think the name will be, I'm thinking about the name.
yeah, something to rival Toastmasters, I guess.
World Speaker Organization. How does it sound?
Sounds like the world's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I'll do what I can, yeah, certainly. And we'll try to win it. Try to
wing it.
Try to change, yeah.
Okay,
Change as much as I want. But that will be optional, yeah. Firstly, it is blooming and sharing the bloom.
Okay, thank you, Prabhat, for having us and starting the first episode of Kathmandu Real Reverse.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have you in this podcast.
Thanks. We'll see you again, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have another one.